It is. All right. So this is Matt Brunhofer with FilmFed, and I'm here with John Schneider and Schneider and Alicia Allain. Did I say that correctly? Yeah, good. Awesome. Awesome. And they got a lot of things going for them. So first I'm going to start off with saying, John, you have a vast amount of credits as an actor throughout television and film, 141 credits to be exact on IMDb. Tell me a little bit about how it feels to be on the writer, director, producer side of things.
It's fantastic. Actually, I'm a writer and director. Alicia is the producer. Producing is hard. Producing is there are numbers involved, and there is paperwork involved, and there's a lot of things that are immovable involved. In what I do, if something is not working, I can kind of shift it around and change it. I can rewrite a scene, or I can suggest different intentions for actor types, or as an actor, I can just do it a different way. There's no different way to do it in Alicia's world. It's like, this has to be done, the paperwork has to be filed, and I don't know how she does it. What I do is easy.
Right.
So I play in the sand, and she counts the individual grains.
Yeah. Producers get a lot of work for them. So let's bounce over to Alicia. You've had several credits throughout the 90s as the key hairstylist in television and film. So now in the present 2000s, you're primarily a producer, especially being a producing partner of John Schneider Studios. So how has the experience of being a producer been for you?
I actually started producing my first film, which was an adaptation of Dostoevsky's Notre Underground in 1992. Okay. So I started producing at a very young age. And was very lucky. And then worked for Robert Evans at Paramount for a while. And then John and I connected a couple of years ago.
A couple of years ago now, yeah.
Same intention. Okay. Very much in the independent spirit, in the vein of that. And we've been in tandem ever since.
Wildcatting.
Wildcatting, that's a great word. Yep.
Wildcatting.
Awesome. And also, going back to what our roots are, being able to tell stories and not being constricted and all of that good stuff.
Cool. Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. So, you've got a new movie streaming service called Cineflix Digital On Demand, which will some of your latest film endeavors you've worked on together, Anderson Bench and Like Sun, be available for viewing on Cineflix? Yeah. And if so, how will the service work for viewers wanting to watch them as well as other films on the website?
Like Sun is available now, but we're not going to start streaming it until the 14th, which is very soon. I'm all about having a bunch of people watch the same thing at the same time. I think maybe because my background is when I was 8 years old, I started in theater. So I love the notion that everybody's gasping at the same time, everybody's laughing at the same time, everybody's enjoying a story well told at the same time. So Like Sun will be available right now. As we're watching this, it's available right now. You can get it from the John Schneider Studios Facebook page, or you can go to www.cineflixdod.com. And DOD is Digital On Demand, because it's not video on demand. I don't know why they call it that. It's digital on demand. And then from that point, that's our maiden voyage. Our flagship is Like Sun, starring Don Shanks and Joe Crest, and it's a fantastic film. That's the first one, and then from that point on, that film will be available anytime someone wants to purchase it from our DoD platform. Whoa! There's people running to buy it right now. So it'll be available, and then we plan on releasing like with anybody else, as that starts to sell and starts to sell more and more, we'll start to add different titles to our DoD from us. But we also have
a library, and then we're also created the Cineflix Fest, which is a traveling, four-walling film festival, and we're doing 8 cities in 8 weeks.
Yes.
Slate of films. And what's really interesting about Cineflix Fest is that it's up to the filmmaker along with us to help promote, and that the filmmaker actually gets a portion of the door along with the exhibitor
at the theater.
So it's something very unprecedented in the indie world.
Excellent. When they get accepted to Cineflix Fest, they also, by virtue of being accepted to the festival, they have a DoD system behind them, which individually costs you thousands of dollars. I know, because setting it up has cost us thousands of dollars. So we're doing that so you don't have to. You independent filmmaker don't have to.
Yeah, that was actually part of my next question with the Louisiana, Louisiana Film Fellowship and the slogan for Cineflix being providing indie filmmakers unprecedented opportunity. It's obvious you two are all about giving the up-and-comers plenty of education and exposure in the business. So I was going to ask, how will Cineflix be a great venue for indie filmmakers? Do they have to go through the film festival to potentially get on the website, or can they submit through some other avenue?
They can eventually submit through other avenues, but I think that's going to be more advantageous because you're going to, one, get the experience of visiting, and you're going to have more of a lateral move whenever we travel. It's also
we're helping you four-wall your own film by virtue of four-walling a film festival. Okay? So it would not be in the filmmaker's best interest just to submit, be accepted, and not show up, because there would be no butts in seats, and there'd be no... The number one reason why you do this is to see your film on the big screen. You'll see it on the big screen in 8 different cities, several different times in each city. And you'll have the experience of having people watch, like talking about earlier, watch your film at the same time with a group of people. Plus, at the end of that, you'll get a percentage of the ticket sales, which nobody ever does at a film festival. Film festivals are wonderful, but they do seem to be designed, at least in part, to get money from the independent filmmaker and never really to give any back.
Right.
They provide an opportunity. There may be a buyer, somebody bought such and such at this film festival, but there is no guarantee of any distribution. There's certainly no percentage of ticket sales, and there's no relationship with the exhibitor, which is the theater owner. Cineflix Fest, you have all of those things. And I'm excited about that because I have four-walled a film before. You have four-walled a film before. It's a lot of heavy lifting. It's very difficult, and it's very rewarding, but it never makes you any money. It only costs you money. This one at least has the potential of making you money on your film right away.
So for Cineflix Fest, what are the categories going to be for, is there going to be a short film category, a writing category, documentary category?
It's actually non-traditional. So we do have a short film. We also have feature length, but we only have 3 awards. So it's Audience Choice, Box Office, and then the Robert Evans Award.
Excellent. What do you consider the Robert Evans Award? Is that the highest award you can get at the festival?
Actually, it's the biggest risk taker, the biggest gambler.
Risk taker.
Oh, risk taker. Okay.
The one that makes you go, what?
So, will Cineflix, or I've heard at the Like Sun Q&A, you're going to be talking about how actors can be cast in a John Schneider film or a film entirely. Now, will Cineflix provide any opportunities for actors to potentially be cast in a John Schneider film? You put exclusive?
So that I would say
well,
yes.
Yeah, we're going to be there. We'll be there. So, resumes are always cool. It's always good to gather those. But also, the other filmmakers will be there too.
Yep.
And there's a really special feeling about seeing someone and going, hey, that's the perk. I hope they can act.
Yeah,
that's the right person for such and such a role in such and such a movie. And we've cast most of everything we've done. We cast through relationships, or we cast through people that we've seen, and it's a great feeling to provide a job to someone who is excited about the acting profession,
and also inspire. Do you know what I mean? That's what I think is really cool, is to watch some of the artists that we've been working with grow. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And we intern as well. The last film we did was 1 month out, and we had our second second assistant cameraman was 16 years old, an intern from Walker High School, about 16 miles from the studio, and it's how he spent his summer vacation. And I told him one day, I said, look, I hope you'll look back on this and remembering this is one of your best summer vacations, not the one you wasted.
Well, we also have old friends and old relationships in the business that come in and help out, and then they help mentor other departments, within their own department and stuff like that, like Itamar coming in and doing sound.
Coming in and Ruth Buzzy coming out of retirement, being in this last movie, and
just really cool. And everybody's very engaging, and And we don't have all the frills and the bells and the whistles, but I don't think it's really missed.
No, we don't have any drama either.
Yeah.
There's no drama in acting. There's no crying in baseball.
Right.
All right, so my last question for you two is: in 5 years, where do you see Cineflix in the world of Hollywood and in the universe of digital on demand?
I quite honestly see Cineflix as being that thing that Hollywood says, "Wait a minute,
Right.
what was that?
Mhm. Okay.
What happened to my lunch? Who just ate my lunch?" So, like every great success, it will appear to be an overnight sensation. But Alicia and I have been in this business for a very long time, and have seen how not to do it from a filmmaker standpoint. I have a film out right now that has been out for almost 6 months, and I've gotten no accounting yet on how it's been doing. That is very frustrating to me. Now, it may be, I'm certain that it is letter perfect to the contract, but I'm a kid. I'm 56, but I'm a kid who made a movie who you said, "Hey, I want to sell your movie, and I want you to call me and say, 'Hey, John, it's doing great,' or 'Hey, John, we need a little push,' or 'Hey, John, guess what? I want some information.'" We will give independent filmmakers information. That's going to be the difference between Cineflix Fest, Cineflix DOD, and everybody else, is that we are set up and designed to service the filmmaker, to keep the filmmaker involved in the entire process, not to treat the filmmaker like they are a necessary evil that needs to be dealt with when the contract says so. We won't do that, and that will set us apart. It already has.
We love Film Fed.
We do. Hi, I'm John Schneider.
Alicia.
Allain. We love Film Fed.
All right, thanks, y'all.